And just like that, Oriel provides. Greetings, Caraval. I am Chief Jurisreef Tarnamir of the Divine Prosecution. Or at least I was, in the long ago. I know this is unorthodox, but perhaps you'd be interested in help. As you can see, a murder took place here. My protégés, Lorne and Soraville, came to investigate, but I fear they may lack perspective. The particulars of this murder... Forgive me, I'm getting ahead of myself. You would take on the duties of the Adminan, the listening eye, an auspicious role. The Adminan serves as the fulcrum, balancing competing theories. They also collect evidence, interview... I thank the Divines that you've agreed to help. This murder weighs heavy on all of us. The victim, Halamorian, was not well liked. Many locals may lift a glass to his passing. But the assassin, the Ghost of the Green, that's altogether different. Better to ask Lorne about it. Capturing the ghost was her obsession for a time. The fact that he's returned does not sit well with her. I can say no more. I don't want to prejudice your impressions. They're the most gifted investigators I've ever trained. Soraville has keen eyes and solid instincts when it comes to reading people. For Lorne, logic is an art. She's clinical in her sensibilities, precise. Many of us have come to rely on magical inquiry to solve crimes. She relies on her wits and intuition instead. Lorne and Soraville drifted apart shortly after they caught the original Ghost of the Green. It's a complicated matter and not my story to tell. Suffice it to say, this case cuts deep, and Lorne seems distracted. I hope you can help her keep her wits.
So you'll be joining us. Good. Call me Lorne. No need for flowery titles. We Altmer have too many names already. I'm glad you're here. Outsiders often make the best adminins. A fresh pair of eyes will be essential here. It's a long and depressing story, one I'm not keen to recount. For now, just know that whoever murdered Halamorian took great pains to make it look like the work of the Ghost of the Green. A killer that Soraville and I apprehended decades ago. The ghost always left a signature to let us know it was him. He killed each victim with a single wood elf arrow to the heart, then laid a fern over the body. The fern is here, but the shot was sloppy, and the arrow is of high elven make. It's odd. I need to examine the body in more detail. Can you do a sweep of the vineyard? If you find anything, blow this whistle. It also might be worth questioning people in town. They'll be more forthcoming with an outsider.
What do you want? The Revelator's already questioned me and cut me loose. I just want to be here if something exciting happens. You don't. The Ghost of the Green has returned. Zen's avenging champion. Of course it's exciting. These longlegs thought they executed him years ago, but now he's back. Ready to dole out Deepwood. New around here, eh? Halamorian was a sap-ass dandy, slapping wood elves with one hand and groping them with the other. The Ghost of the Green just did what the prosecution wouldn't. Good riddance. Murdered? No, executed. Executed by a righteous hand. Just have a look around, outsider. I'll bet my horns you'll find evidence of misdeeds. This was a long time coming. Hopefully it put these other long-legged prigs on notice.
Ah, you come to babble with Babblebrook? When came the killers? I had a look. Babblebrook knows what Babblebrook sings. Why can't you make sense of things? A ghost did bring the vintner's end, but even wraiths can have a friend. Don't you see? Death comes in twos. Friends and killers both win and lose. Killers and killed are two, it's true. So near, the source of fear. But Babblebrook babbles too long, it seems. Best make haste, or we'll hear more.
It really is too bad about Halamorian. I told him he shouldn't be so free with his politics. It's a different climate now, after all. You have to watch what you say around people. On the upside, it's good to be rid of a rival vintner. Oh, darling, you're a bit late to the party if that's why you're here. I already submitted my statement to the revelators, and my alibi is thrice confirmed. To be honest, the only reason I'm still here is to find one of my servant girls. Yes, a charming young wood elf named Farrell. I only recently brought her on. She used to work for the late Halamorian, but there was some kind of incident. I don't know the details. According to my other servant girl, she often came back here to visit the friends she left behind. She'd attend Bosma suppers, midday revels in the grape fields, that sort of thing. I encourage my girls to take time for them. Aren't you a cherry blossom? That would be lovely.
Another body. Delightful.
Oh dear. Blood on her hands and blouse. But no slashing wounds. This doesn't fit the pattern. The ghost always kills with a bow. This was spur of the moment. Unexpected. Maybe she fought back.
Why do you insist on puzzling these things over like in a film? You know the death memory ritual. It's a simple...
Enough, Sorville. You know that's forbidden. Admin, look around and see if you can find the source of this blood. You found something? So did I. It looks like Fariel was strangled, not stabbed. This blood must be the attacker's. I intend to, yes. I'm a fair hand at alchemy. You'd be surprised how useful it can be in my line of work. I've caught more killers with flasks and alembics than I have with any sword. My husband used to say Sorry. I suppose it's past time I told you. The ghost murdered 17 people before we caught him. His last victim was my husband. It's fine, Now you see why we needed a neutral party. Enough. Let's get back on task. I'd like you to search Halamorian's villa. It's just southwest of here. Sorry, I don't mean to be checking up on you. I just think better when I walk. And the blood is still simmering in the alembic. It will be some time before I have the results. From what I hear, the accusations are almost certainly true. So, Halamorian was making unwanted advance. The original ghost murder spree started with a high elf farmer who took liberties with his Bosma laborers. We never published the details of that investigation. It can't be a coincidence. This new ghost must be someone in the know. None that I'm keen to share, not yet anyway. For now, let's go with what we know. The Wood Elves have motive. Sorville went down to the cottage east of here to look around. Meet him there, and see if you can shake anything loose.
I assure you, Chief, it would bring me no joy to unleash our revelators on your new home, but I'll have to unless you let us take a look around.
Fine, but just one of you, your partner. Do your work, then leave us in peace.
One, then. I'll be sure to report your compliance to the Divine Prosecution.
Like we have a choice in the matter. Come, join me for a meal. Meat's fresh enough.
Delightful. I suppose I'll stay here to break bread with the chief while you have a look around. Not the way I wanted things to go, but we will simply have to adapt. Did she? I must admit, I'm surprised. Lorne never talks about that ordeal. Certainly not with me, anyway. My. Are you an adminin or a confessor? Tarnamir is quite right. After all that happened, we had a difficult time getting back into a routine. I tried to keep things professional, healthy, but she was just lost. She never fully recovered. Tarnamir. When the Ghost of the Green returned, Tarnamir naturally called on the two people best suited to catch him. It was awkward at first, but we've managed. I suppose I have you to thank for that. Not regularly, no. We High Elves have acute memories, but I find that if you stay busy enough, you don't have time to reminisce. So much the better. Anything at all that could link this clan, or one of its members, to the murders of Halamorian or Fariel. None of these Wood Elves held Halamorian in high regard. We just need to find out if that enmity led to murder. Operate under the assumption that the killer was here, or still could be. Question everything you see and hear, and look out for any overt or subtle references to the Ghost of the Green. Ah, yes. I hadn't even thought of that. A corrupt High Elf merchant and an abused Wood Elf girl. There are certainly similar. I find everything suspicious. Whoever this killer is, they've obviously acquainted themselves with the ghost's history and methods. We kept most of those details secret, but unscrupulous revelators routinely sell those details to enthusiasts. Honestly, I think this is the work of a deranged and obsessive mind. One of these Wood Elves read about the Ghost of the Green, saw an opportunity for cultural glory, for immortality, and seized it. Even so, Lorne and I have to be sure.
Who are you? Are you with the Divine Prosecution? My husband, Halamorian, hated us. He abused our children and tried to drive us off. Of course the High Elves would suspect us. And our son, Kellan, he... Never mind. Please, just go. We don't want any trouble. We just want to live... You really just want to keep him safe? Well, I'm not supposed to say this, but Kellan has been going on about the Ghost of the Green for weeks now. You know boys and their masked heroes. I didn't think there was any harm in it. No, of course not. He's a good boy. I only mean that it could look suspicious because of his interest in those old legends. Besides, didn't the Ghost of the Green run around in a mad hunter's costume? Yes, I'm sure. Look, you're free to look around. Just try to... We're simple men, we don't have much. Halamorian may have been a cruel bigot, but none of us would ever murder him for it.
Take pride in your work, I always say.
Bosmer cuisine is truly revolting. I bought us as much time as I could. I hope you found something useful. A shrine? There's an old shrine to Ifre west of here, the Red Temple. But from what Tarnamir told me, people rarely visit, filled with wild animals or some such. I only know of one entrance, a cave nearby. We should split up. Don't want this little scamp slipping out behind us. I can handle this gap easily. You search the other hall.
No, wait! I did everything you asked! I just can't anymore! I'm not a killer! I only wanted to protect Farrell!
We could have worked such terrible wonders together. Pathetic. You, though, you're perfect. Tell Lorne her past is hunting her present. Yes, tell her that.
What's happening? The ghost recruited me. Said he needed me. He gave me the costume. Told me to kill as he would. Halamorian hated us. Was going to kill us. I know it. After what Farrell is dead. Oh, Divines. You've cursed me, haven't you? I only shot Halamorian, I swear it. Farrell was so kind. I wanted Halamorian. Never saw his face. He never said his name. I didn't need to know. I'd read the stories. I believed in him and he saw something in me. I never... Mother...
I was too slow. Damned Mer slipped right past me. Tall for a wood... Wait, what? What do you mean, another ghost of the green? The journal you showed me... Did Kellan kill Hallam? What about the wood elf girl, Fariel? Did he kill her too? Yes. Show her the arrow immediately. Perhaps she can compare Kellan's blood to the blood on Fariel's sickle. At the very least, we'll be able to determine if Kellan killed Fariel. I'll be along as soon as I'm able.
You're back. And not a moment too soon. Do you have something for me? A second ghost. I suspected as much. And he killed this Kellan with that arrow? Another high elf hunting arrow, like the one that killed Halamorian. Kellan had motive. This second ghost provided the costume, the weaponry. But why? So, this isn't about Halamorian. It isn't about the wood elves or Altmer prejudiced. It's about me. It's always been about me. I knew it. I knew this was too convenient. I also knew the Mer who killed Fariel couldn't be. I just finished experimenting on the blood from Fariel's sickle. It was Altmer blood. This second ghost isn't some wood elf zealot. He's a high elf like me. I moved the bodies to Tarnamir's manor. What? This place... No, I can't. You found something? This is a message. Everything in this room. It's all meant to tell us something. Elevane is another name for the Healess Owl. Elevanes lay their eggs, then abandon them. We use that word to describe people who are cold-hearted or aloof. Or more likely, someone I failed to love. No, it can't be. The ghost of the Green ruined Somerville's life, just as he ruined mine. If not for the ghost, Somerville's wife would likely still be alive. I have to know. Stand back, and I'll show you. You already saw how Kellan died. Now, we'll see the others.
What's this? A tiny ghost of the Green? Ha! Run along well before.
What have I done?
Kellan definitely killed Halamorian. Now, Varil.
Who are you?
I'm afraid you've seen too much. You poor thing.
Somerville was observing Kellan when Varil saw him. She slashed him with her sickle before he overpowered her.
So it is you. Shame on you.
The shame is Lorne's, old Mer. Now she'll have your death on her conscience too.
No, Somerville. This is you and you alone.
Give my regards to my loving wife and Lorne's degenerate husband. Lorne? I know you're watching, Lorne. Now that I've broken your spirit and you've broken your vow, come to the place where my wife is buried. There, I will break your body.
You're sticking by my side. Even after I use that death memory ritual. I appreciate that, admin. I told you how the ghost of the Green killed my husband. Somerville's wife, my husband's lover, was overcome with grief. I think she truly loved him. As soon as she heard the news, she climbed into the wash tub, opened her wrist, and died. Not for that, for what came after. Somerville wanted us to mend each other's wounds. Perhaps even fall in love and make a life together. I just couldn't. I focused on... Come, let's put an end to this. Somerville, I know you're here. What do you want from me?
Oh, Lorne, I've already taken so much. Your teacher, your honor, your pride. There's only one thing left for me to take. Your life.
Somerville. Don't worry about me. Go. We can't let Somerville escape again.
All right, don't cry for Mummy.
The ghost of the Green's final victim. Time to die, Admanen.
In a big family, you have to know how to scrap. Somerville. Is he... He is. It's done then, isn't it? I knew he wouldn't come quietly. In the end, I bear the blame. A killer. Right beside me, and I didn't see it until more lives were lost. I'm glad you were here, Adminin. I will be. The arrow struck near my collarbone. Somerville was a gifted marksman. Maybe he couldn't see as well through the mask, or it was nerves. Or maybe he didn't really want me dead after all. One more thing, if you're willing. I'm certain that Somerville never spoke to Kellan's parents, given that this was all his scheme to begin with. They lost their son. I just need a moment here alone. Ironic that this came to a head in such a holy place. Maybe I can find some absolution here. Or at least some small measure of peace. He did. Perhaps I deserved it. But all those people... An innocent girl. A naive young Mer. A dear friend. You're right, I suppose. I just wish I had been better. A better Juris Reeve, a better wife, a better friend. Maybe I could have prevented all this. I'm sorry. Thank you for your kind words.
I don't. I am sorry. But the prosecution is still examining his body. We will release his remains to you as soon as we can.
You? I remember you. Please. You have to tell me what's going on. My son never came home. If for his mercy. How could you? Why didn't you save him? Damn this place. Damn the prosecution. Here, take this thing. I found it under Kellan's bed. I never want to see it again. I never want to see you again.
A hard thing to witness. There are rarely any happy endings in this line of work. You just have to remember that things would be much worse had you not been here. That matters.